All right, guys, we're gonna shoot a little video here introducing the Mobile Snyper, and we got a follow-up usage video, a demo video of this particular one stick coming up, but I want to go over a few things before we shoot that so you'll know exactly what you're looking at. There's been some really good videos of this one stick thus far. I'm going to show you what I've done to mine, share some of my impressions and the hopes I have for this this very unique tool. All right, guys, we're going to shoot a little video here introducing the Mobile Snyper, and we got a follow-up usage video, a demo video of this particular one stick coming up, but I want to go over a few things before we shoot that so you'll know exactly what you're looking at. There's been some really good videos of this one stick thus far. I'm going to show you what I've done to mine, share some of my impressions and the hopes I have for this this very unique tool. What you're looking at right here is a Treetop Outdoors Mobile Sniper. It is a very unique piece in that what I see it can do, what the niche I see it can fill is not only as a one stick, but also as a platform. Of course, not everyone climbs the one stick method. You could climb with 2 sticks, 3 sticks, and then set this platform, set this stick up and hunt off of it just like a platform. What you'll notice is it's larger once it's set up, fully assembled at hunting height than probably 80% of other platforms and certainly other one sticks on the market. So I think you'll see that this is a very unique piece. So ultimately, the way I have mine set up is I have an altimeter on the bottom, I have a Harken cam cleat up top, I have some silencing stealth type strips that I put on where the 2 sections of the top platform meet, and then very simply I just have a gear tie up top to use as a pull up to advance my stick. I've also gone in at the bolt studs that stick out where the 2 platform sections come together. I've put some silencing tape there as well. So let me assemble the stick, and what you're going to see is you got a little wing nut back here, and once you loosen that, you're able to lift that stick off completely. Keep that wing nut on the stud there on the back. Then ultimately what you do is you'll take the secondary piece, you'll slide it over the studs out front, and then it'll come down locked together. Now, I think that'll get easier once the silencing tape really takes hold and kind of wears in. I think that'll come on and off easier. Now you could come in, and I have adjusted these some, take these wing nuts, loosen them, back them out, and get them set appropriately. But it is still a bit of an effort with that silencing tape to get on there, but I don't think it's going to be bad at all at hunting height. So let's take a look here. I'm going to measure. I know you're not going to be able to see that exact measurement, but across the front of the platform, we're 14 inches from the front of the platform to the back, and it is really about 12 1/8. So a little larger than I think advertised, but that's certainly good. And if you look diagonally, I know this is a measurement that a lot of various pieces of equipment, this diagonally, it is 18 3/8 inches from front corner to opposed rear corner. That's a ton of surface area. I don't know if you can see this, but take a look at that standoff distance. So if you measure the standoff distance, the back to the very front of the step, you are looking at over 5 inches, which that is very considerable, very considerable. And you obviously gonna have the same measurement up top, actually slightly, appears to be slightly more. So that is the Treetop Outdoors Mobile Sniper. Later in this video, we're gonna get out into the field. We're gonna get it on a tree, and you can kind of see how it performs, see a little bit into my method of climbing. A couple things that are different for me this year than I've done the last couple of years is I've moved from a Gree Plus to Mad Rock. That's a bit of an adjustment, as I think you will see. Grees are very, very smooth and clean, but I do a lot of hybrid setups now, and I don't really want to be using two different devices. And that Gree is just so much larger and bulkier than a Mad Rock. While it's smoother, it's a great device in every way, but the Mad Rock being much more compact is really going to be more ideal for a hybrid setup where you're tethering in not as high on the tree, you've got a shortened bridge, and you don't want that big device flopping around on your left or right hip. The Mad Rock is more ideal for that. Other than that, there's not a whole lot else. I did, and you'll see in the video that we'll link on the back end of this introduction. I've got a couple of additions to my trophy line Fanatic saddle. I've got a stiffy pouch, and I also have the custom gear modifications dropout bag. Outstanding. I love both of those. Using the Wildline Ropes lineman belt or lineman rope, and I've got 40 foot of Sterling CIB for my rappel rope, and it works just flawlessly inside the GCM dropout bag. So I hope you enjoy the continuation of the video as we take a little deeper dive into the Treetop Mobile Sniper. Fantastic piece of equipment. Thank you. And everybody, thanks for watching H5 Outdoors. I'm Thomas Hood. I'm going to show you the Treetop Hunting and Mobile Sniper. This is a new one stick that's come out this year. As soon as it was shown on Facebook, I was very interested. I was interested in the features. I was interested in the capability, a complete flush climb. Also a huge platform. So this particular one stick I got in a couple of weeks ago. I've painted it a little bit. It's it's got a pull-up gear tie on it. It's set with the Harken cam cleat, full berry 3/16 am steel rope, and I have an altimeter, three-step altimeter on it. Okay, so we're going to climb, and then I'm going to come back down and set it up at about head height, and then we'll look at a number of features with it. But I want you to see the ease in which you can climb with this, given the flush climb, and then we'll talk about the features, the stability, and go over some of the specs. I'll end up packing this in with one of my trophy line packs for this climb, and just about every sit when I'm in the woods. I'm in a trophy line Fanatic, super lightweight saddle, and best customer service that you'll find in the industry. So ultimately, you're going to remove the platform from the stick. I have a hook on the back of my saddle that I will just hook that in and climb with it just like that. And then when I get to hunting height, that's when I'll retrieve it and put the platform on. Okay, so you want to get your stick up, come around the tree, set it at whatever height you prefer based on your aider configuration. Set your stick. I'm going to take the altimeter out of the pack and play, and now I'm ready to climb. The great feature about this, it's been talked about in a number of videos, followed all of Treetop's videos. Obviously, one of the biggest features promoted, not just the large platform when you're at hunting height, but the ability to have a flush climb. Most one sticks have some projection out from the post, and sometimes that can make it difficult advancing from your aider to your bottom step, and then all the way to the top step. Okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get my 1-stick rope ready. I climb, and this is not necessarily what I'm gonna tell you to do or necessarily recommend others do, but what I do is I climb to the top of my stick, and then I tether in. Now, when I get to the top of my stick, I already have my lineman's rope out, and ultimately I take my lineman's rope, I hook it around the tree, and that is when I will position my tether, okay? Again, that may not be the best way, but that's what is worked out for me and what I feel comfortable doing. Now this is a Wildline Ropes ultralight lineman rope, which is just outstanding. I picked this up at the Mobile Hunter Roadshow in Chattanooga. Now I'm going to put my tether on the tree. I like to put that around head high. Tighten my quick link. The first year I'm going to be using the tether locker, which I'm excited about. I've had gear ties and rubber washers and a number of things aside from that I've used, but I do believe that that tether locker is going to be much nicer. Get a bite of rope, get it into the mad rock. Another thing that I do that some don't is I set an auto block up on my my right hip. That is specifically for a brake. Some guys don't do that. They don't like it. They like to have some sort of brake up above their rappelling device, but I prefer to have a brake down off of my lineman loop. It's just what I like, what I started out with when I began one sticking several years ago, and that's what I've stuck with. Okay, so in order to do that, clip into your carabiner, run this back, you take your rope, and you're ultimately, I tend to wrap it back toward my carabiner from the top, take 3 or 4 wraps, and then hook back into the carabiner, and that's always given me the appropriate break. Okay. Then I'm going to pull that through like so and have that tight. Now at this point, I can come up top of my stick. Got my lineman rope where I want. I'm going to slide this tether locker back just a bit. I'm going to advance up just a bit, not much. Okay. Now on a tree like this, it's slightly off to the side. Normally, if I'm on a straight tree, what I would do is I would have my quick link over to the side just a bit, just to give me a little clearance on this side, but this tree's pitched over a little bit, so I'm going to keep it pretty well in the middle. Okay, so now I'm going to
my rope through, get where I want to be, and I can disconnect my lineman rope. I normally keep it clipped out in case I need it to go around a limb or a branch. And now I can lean back, and all of my weight, as you can see, it's bit down on my brake here as a safety, but then there I am with the mad rod. So now, okay, swing over to the side like so. Pull my stick up. Now I'm here and I can just advance my stick. Always be mindful of where your rope is here, and not cross your rope with your one stick. I'm coming up, getting the height that I want, coming back into my cam cleat, got it tight, setting the stick, then I can come swing around. A little tall for me. I believe it's about 18 inches, and I like about a 16 to 17 inch step on an acre. So now we can advance up with our rope. Okay. So now where we are here, I didn't really gauge the height for this climb. I'm going to go ahead because of this branch. I'm going to take my lineman rope, come back around, and I'm going to hook it over. Okay, so now I'm tied in. I will disconnect here and then bypass this limb. Obviously, if I'm in the woods, actually hunting, I'm not going to be as loud with my quick link. Okay, so now that I've advanced my tether above this limb, I'm going to step up to my top step. Go ahead and adjust the lineman. Now I will raise my tether to ultimately what will be my hunting height. Now, I'm going to disconnect my lineman and pass it around. Connect it back on the other side. Okay. So at this point, I can fine tune my tether height, which I would likely do because it is a little lower than I like. Okay, perfect. All right. So now I'm pretty well where I want to be. I would pull my rope through, engaging my auto block on break. So now I'm at the height that I want to hunt, okay? Now I've seen a lot of guys do it differently. They've gone ahead and put the bottom step on before advancing up, but I believe what I will end up doing is I will rappel down a bit, maybe even step back down to the bottom step, but that way I'm set here. Then ultimately I can reach around. I have my bottom step. Get down to the height I need. Now this is the first time I've climbed with this stick. So that take a little getting used to, but I like the way it bites. I like the way it feels. And it's actually very simple to use. Now, I'm gonna step back up, pull some rope through the mad rock, and I'm where I wanna be. So, I'd set my bow up here, my camera arm would be down here, and I can pretty well move around this tree, make any shot that I wanna make. If I wanna make a strong side shot, I'm over here for my strong side. If I need to put my knee into the tree and swing around and shoot directly behind me, I can come over to the side here. This platform's huge, okay? And I can make the shot straight around. Weak side shot is not an issue. Some people like to completely spin around. I've done both, depending on what platform I'm using, but I would be perfectly fine leaning off of this side of the tree, bringing my bow over and shooting just like this. I like it. As you can see, I'm not in any way a little guy. I'm about 6'2", 250 pounds today, and I can stand very easily, flush against the tree. I could turn around, face completely away from the tree. It's as good of a platform that I've used on a one stick, from what I can tell. I'm really impressed by what I see. I'll have this with me in Tennessee this next week for the early archery velvet hunt. Kind of get it dialed in a little bit and get ready for the bow opener in Texas, the 1st of October. So that is the Mobile Snyper. As you can see, plenty of room. The way the stick, the fixed section of the platform comes well around the tree. This tree is a little bit larger, well, actually quite a bit larger than basketball size, and there's plenty of room to navigate around the back side of this tree. I mean, you could come just about all the way around, make a shot. I'm very impressed with what I see with this stick. We're gonna do something a little differently. I've never had to do this before, but I'm really just 2 moves up. I drop my rappel rope down, but I'm gonna pull it off to the side, and I'm actually gonna have to use my rappel rope as a pull down rope as well, which isn't ideal, but it is what it is. So I'm not really tall enough for that to create a problem, but I don't know that I would want to do this very often. Normally when I'm climbing, I'm 3 moves high, maybe 4, so I'm between 20 and 30 feet. You can't do that, but when you're under 20 feet and you have 40 foot of rappel rope, you can get by with that. As you can see, rock's a little different getting used to. I rappelled the last 2 years with a Gree Plus, and the Gree is, well, it's much smoother, but the Mad Rock is much smaller. Okay, I'm gonna come here, take the platform off, hook it on the hook on the back of my saddle. Well, that wasn't ideal. Yep, no, one broke. There we go. So pretty simple, except for forgetting your pull down rope. But luckily we weren't very tall. And gonna have you zoom in a little bit, and then we'll take a look at what I really like about this particular stick. So the stick climbs easy. It's light. Got all the room that you'll ever need, and that's very nice. Stick on about right here. So we've got stealth strips on the back of the platform here. Again, that was the first time I had tried to climb with it and to put the platform on at any height other than playing around in my garage. I think if I had maybe done what some had done, put it on as you're advancing up, and maybe just step off to the side, that may have been easier instead of going pretty well to height, dropping down, then putting it on, and it could have just been the light. Now, granted, you're climbing in the morning, you want to be able to see, but it wasn't hard. Took just a moment to orient, feel my way around, and it went on just fine. So when you put the platform on, it is quiet. Again, I have it stealth stripped, and it's rock solid. I mean, it is not going anywhere. The thing that impressed me, you can't see it as much now that I've painted it, but the thing that really impressed me about this stick is the machining. I've heard a couple of people say that. I think Zach from Aerial Salt mentioned how impressed he was with the machining, but it's just very precise. All of the machining work is as good as anything I've ever seen. I really like the way that the fixed portion of the platform comes around the tree. And again, this is not a small tree. I've climbed a lot of trees, much smaller in the woods, and I really like how it comes over to the side. So plenty of real estate up top to maneuver around, and these standoffs are outstanding. They're very aggressive. You get a lot of separation from the tree, and then just aside from that, the overall features, being able to take the top platform off and put it around on the back for easy transport, that's been very impressive to me. You just put it like so, slide it down, helps if you loosen the wing nut enough first, then slide it down, tighten it up, and ultimately at that point, after you have wrapped up your aider, of course, but it's ready to wrap your rope up and put it in your pack and climb. It's really that simple. So very impressed with this product. Treetop, great job on the Mobile Snyper. Thank you.